You're up.
All right, it's now 6:30. We'll be calling the Finance Committee to order. Mr. Rippeth, the chair, is excused absence tonight. I'll be acting as the acting chair, myself. Members are Mr. Kreinball, and my alternate is Mrs. Ramos, who will be an active member tonight. We have 3 items to discuss tonight. The first one we're going to talk about is proposed resolution 17. Let's see here. Sorry. It's resolution by council, City of New Philadelphia, Sussex County, Ohio, authorizing and directing the safety director to enter into an agreement with Fenton Fire Equipment to sell the 1997 Ford Horton E350 523 ambulance, the 1998 Ford Horton E350 ambulance, and the 2009 Chevy Braun 4500 ambulance. I'm going to turn this over to our safety director, Mr. Milligan, to talk about this one.
Thank you, Mr. Lonzo. Yes, so originally they were going to sell 2 of those vehicles. They were old, out of service, and no longer in use, and keep the third, the Braun, to retrofit it to turn it into our dive truck. When we looked at the opportunity of selling all 3, we found a vehicle that's already fitted for a dive truck that we could purchase, as one of the resolutions we'll see, for the cost and probably less than it would take us to retrofit the Braun. So therefore, what I'm recommending is the sale of all 3 of those vehicles. We believe the sale from those 3 vehicles will actually cover the cost of basically our dive truck, but net, I hate to say word profit, because we've already spent the money to buy those, but will net us from that process. So it will just be, instead of keeping the one and trying to retrofit it with a new body, we're going to sell it. The value of that as such will probably just cover even the entire cost itself of the new unit that we've already discovered. It is in North Carolina right now. We've been in talks with them, so it is a older vehicle, but it only has like 12,000 miles on it, and it will certainly serve the purpose. So my recommendation is to move forward with the sale of those vehicles, use the net profits from that to purchase then the dive vehicle.
Okay. So you're saying basically when you sell all 3 of these, you'll have enough money to cover that other, what we're going to be talking about in resolution 18?
It will absolutely cover 100% of that
100%
cost.
of that, so no more new tax dollars.
We sure will have some left over.
Okay. Is there any questions from the committee?
No.
No? Good. Good. Anybody from council? No? Any questions from the community? No? All right, seeing none, is there any action to be taken on proposed resolution 17?
I'll make a motion that we add resolution number 17, 2025 to tonight's agenda for first read.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Ramos, and we'll take a vote. Mr. Kreinball?
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes also.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one we're gonna have is proposed resolution 18, 2025. And this is the purchase of the vehicle we were just talking about. So, and sir, I mean, he already spoke on it pretty much. Is there any questions on this from the committee?
I guess the only I mean, so you're 100% confident those other 3 vehicles will cover this price, like?
Yeah, the 2009 Braun itself, with the ambulance loading system, will cover the cost, just on
Okay.
its own. That's about a $30,000 to $40,000 system that's in that ambulance. So, you know, I don't mind, with the caveat being that the sale covers those costs. If not, you should expect me to probably come back and,
Yeah.
you know.
That's all I
price
was
and such. Yeah.
basically going to say. Yep,
Yep.
perfect.
Okay. Cheryl, you have any questions?
Yeah, I guess back to resolution 17. How much do you figure those vehicles will bring in?
You estimated, I think, quote that they got on the 2009 Braun's probably somewhere between 50 and 60,000. I don't know the quotes on the 2 lower ones. I can get back to you on that.
Okay, any other questions?
And,
Sorry, Ms. Cheryl.
thank you. And so we're contracting with Fenton Fire to sell it?
Yes, this would be the same service that we utilize to sell the ladder truck.
Okay, and how much are they charging? What's their commission?
I'll have to get that answer for you.
Okay, so that'll take off that profit. So my question for the new vehicle the 2000 Ford, that's for the dive vehicle, did you say?
Correct.
Okay. And what is the cost of that?
I believe it's listed in there, 45,000.
Yeah.
Okay, not to exceed that. So do we have to outfit it with anything?
No, it's already retrofitted. We were going to not sell the 2009 Braun and try to sell the two and use the dollars from that to try to take the box off, keep the chassis, and retrofit it, but when we found this vehicle for that price, we chose to go this direction.
Okay, so, with the excess money, maybe the profits, those would just go where? To further equipment purchases?
Great question for a new guy. When you sell vehicles, where does those
It's
funds go back
listed.
into the general fund, or I don't know.
It's listed that it's going to the capital
420.
improvement fund 420.
Go back to,
It's in the resolution.
Yeah.
Okay, it'll go back in.
And to answer your question, it's a 10%, Fenton's charged 10%.
Okay.
Mrs. Robbins, any more questions?
No, that's it.
And it's stated, in the event that the sale of those vehicles do not cover the cost of that vehicle, I'll come back to the committee.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your last sentence.
In the event that the sale of those vehicles would not cover the cost of our purchase, I would come back to the committee.
Okay.
Anybody else on council have any questions? Administration or guests?
nope.
Seeing none, do we have any action to take on proposed resolution 18?
I'll make the motion that we add resolution number 18, 2025 to tonight's agenda for first reading.
And we have a second?
Second,
Second, Mrs. Ramos. We'll take a vote. Mr. Krybel?
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos?
yes.
And I'll vote yes also.
Thank you.
Okay. And the last item we have to discuss tonight is proposed resolution 19. It looks like our auditor is being a trooper. I know she's feeling under the weather, but she joined us tonight, so we'll be able to talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so everybody got the contracts and all the nuts and bolts of it? Is there, auditor, have you been able to figure out how that would fit into our?
Mr. Chairman, if you would, I
Yes.
think because this is a labor contract, we should talk about this in executive session.
Okay. Well, we'd have to do that during the regular session.
No, you can do it in your committee.
We can call it executive? I didn't know that. So do I, just ask for a
Motion to go into executive
motion
session.
to go to executive session for the finance committee at this moment? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Krybel. We have to do a vote of just the committee
Sure.
or the?
Sure,
all
because
council?
it's the committee going
Okay,
into
Mr.
executive
Krybel?
session.
Yes.
And I'll, Mrs. Ramos?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes also, so.
Okay, guys, you're gonna have to leave the room. Actually, it was an
6:59,
email.
we're now back into regular finance committee.
As long as it's
Is there
legal.
anything else to come before
Huh?
committee
As long
at
as
this
it's
time?
legal.
No, motion to
Okay.
adjourn.
Me and
So
Chris.
moved.
Thank you at 6:59.
Thanks, everybody.
It's called the Times Destroys. Yeah, okay.
I don't want to get into overtime because you can't predict it.
Okay, at 7 o'clock, I'm going to call the Zoning and Annexation Committee together to order. Okay, tonight we have myself, Dan Lonzer, and then Mike is the alternate, and you get to participate tonight. All right. So the purpose of our meeting is to continue consideration of Resolution 1, 2025, to annex into the city the said parcel, and everybody has the numbers and everything for that, owned by Elmer and Anna McClave and zone it R2. Just by way of reminder, this resolution was tabled at the May 12th Zoning Annexation Committee meeting due to questions about property tax and other discussion, but mainly that. Law Director Fate answered those questions during his presentation during council on May 29th. I was not here, but I did listen to the meeting online and I heard them. Committee and council, by way of reminder, has received all documents pertaining to this annexation, and so this was, again, this was approved by the Planning Commission at the January 2025 meeting. I've also been contacted by the council from the McClaves about tonight's meeting, and she will not be here, but she knows, she's apprised of what's happening. Since Resolution 1, 2025 was tabled at the last meeting on May 12th, to start this off, I need a motion to place Resolution 1, 2025 back on the table.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Okay, vote. Mike,
Yes.
I'll vote yes also.
I'll vote yes. Okay, so, since we're taking this up again, it's been over a month, do we have any questions from the committee?
So, Mr. Law Director, that answer on the property taxes still stands, correct? I know you're, okay.
Yeah, the law hasn't changed since then. It's still divided up both ways, and I confirmed that with the county auditor, that they had to set up special tax districts because they had to follow the law, so.
Okay.
And my understanding from talking to you then, at the after the last meeting, was they had to pay both.
Correct.
They paid both.
They pay whatever levies are on for both.
Any other questions?
No, that answers all the questions I have.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the administration?
No, I'm glad it's back on the table.
Yeah, finally, so much
Finally,
for
yeah.
expedited
This has
annexation.
been
huh?
painful, yeah,
Probably not as happy as the McClaves.
yeah.
How about council?
I'm
Good?
Bring more people in the city.
One parcel at a time.
Yep.
Yep. Any questions or comments from the public? Okay, so, you might be able to take your meeting up again, Dan. And do we have a motion to put this on the agenda tonight?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Can I take a vote? Mike?
Yep.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, now, Mr. Law Director, do we have to hold this for 3 readings?
There's no reason to hold it for 3 readings. It's already been approved by the county.
Well, we can't suspend the rules.
We
We don't
can't
have enough.
suspend
Suspend the
the
rules
rules
today
tonight
anyways,
anyways.
so.
Okay. All right. Any matter to come before the committee tonight? Can I have an emotion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you.
That's it.
All right.
We're done.
Is that all right? Your pickup will go.
This meeting of New Philadelphia City Council will now come to order. Would you please rise and remain standing for the invocation and pledge of allegiance? Mr. Walker.
Bow our heads, please. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Please be with those that are ill and just under the weather with this heat. Just keep them safe throughout this little period of heat wave. Be with this council this evening as we make decisions through you, for this city. Be with our safety forces and our workers. Keep them safe throughout this heat and throughout every day. We pray all this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. We'll start tonight's meeting with roll call.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Here.
Mr. Lanzer.
Here.
Mrs. Ramos.
Here.
Mr. Rippon. Mr. Sears.
Here.
Mr. Simmelink. Mr. Walker.
Here.
All right, let it be known to Mr. Ribbeth and Mr. Simmelink are excused for tonight's meeting. All right, everybody had a chance to look at the agenda. Are there any additions to the agenda tonight? Yes, Mr. Lonzo.
Yes, Mr. President, I'll bundle two together here. I'll ask that we add proposed resolution 17 and proposed resolution 18 to tonight's agenda.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you, Mr. Walker. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
All right, are there any other addition? Yes, Mrs. Ramos.
I move that we add resolution 1/2025 to the agenda
Do I have a
tonight.
second? Thank you, Mr. Walker. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
All right, are there any other additions? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve the agenda for tonight. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Need a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Granville. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
All right, agenda has been approved. Minutes, everybody's had a chance to review the minutes for our last council meeting. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Rahman. Do you second?
Second.
Mr. Alonso, thank you. Any questions or from administration? Council, roll call.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
All right, minutes have been approved. Correspondence, Ms. Courtwright.
Two council members from Mayor Day dated June 13th, 2025. This is an email titled, "Michael McInturf's presentation has been postponed." Mayor Day states that Mr. McInturf has postponed his presentation to the Planning Commission for his master vision plan because it has not yet been completed. To council and administration from Mayor Day dated June 19th, 2025. This is an invitation to a bond issue discussion with the New Philadelphia City School Board on July 17th at 6:30 p.m. Two council members from Mayor Day dated June 15th, 2025. This is a forwarded email from a Mr. Tom Tecco of New Philadelphia. Mr. Tecco's email is titled Deterioration of New Philadelphia Old Neighborhoods. The email was replied to by Councilman Sears and Councilwoman Ramos. To council and administration from Mayor Day dated June 19th, 2025. This is an email titled Ratified New Philly FOP Contract. To council and administration from Mayor Day dated June 20th, 2025. This is an email titled Current FOP Contract. And to council and administration from Mayor Day dated June 20th, 2025, the mayor's report. And that concludes correspondence for this evening, Mr.
Thank you,
President.
Ms. Courtwright. Moving to our administrative reports. First up, Mayor Day.
Thank you, Mr. President, council members, fellow administrators, and guests. A couple things I want to mention from the report I sent you earlier today. First, I want to talk about the annual First Town Days Festival. It's always here in July and makes July a very special month in New Philadelphia. But this year, there's a couple of other events that will be adding to the festivities in July. On Wednesday, July 2nd, I've already told you about this, at 1 p.m., the groundbreaking ceremony will be held at the Gazebo Quadrant downtown. That will mark the start of the $2.9 million Appalachian Community Grant Program project to redesign 3 of the 4 downtown quadrants. John Carey, the Director of the Governor's Office of Appalachia, and Lydia Mahalik, the Director of the Ohio Department of Development, are among the dignitaries who have confirmed that they will be there. Then the 4-day First Town Days Festival kicks off the following day on Thursday, July 3rd. Again, it'll feature food vendors and music on the midway, live music, the Grand Parade on Friday, fireworks Saturday night, and the annual car show on Sunday. Festival details can be found on the First Town Days Festival website. The following week on Saturday, July 12th at 11 a.m., a ribbon cutting ceremony will be held to officially open the model home in Matt and Audra Karam's New Philadelphia Housing Plan. The model home has been under construction for the past several months, and it's a location at 347 Ray Avenue Northwest. The city has been working with the Karams to find vacant lots in neighborhoods where their 2-bedroom starter homes can be built. This is in an effort to address the shortage of affordable housing in New Philadelphia. And they also have a website where you can go for more information, and that's on Ray Avenue Northeast, 347 Ray Avenue Northeast. And also, I want to give a shout out to the members of NPAC's Flower Committee for their work to beautify our downtown area with flowers and plants. I'm sure you've seen them on North and South Broadway. Despite the heat, they were working on those flower beds over the weekend, doing a great job. Diane Launschlager and Master Gardener Annadale France are leading that group, and they'll continue to use their green thumbs when the plantings in the downtown quadrant's new design are in place. And I also just want to remind council that there's a list of cooling centers on the Health Department Facebook page that I would encourage you to share with people, particularly this week.
Yeah.
That concludes my report. Any questions?
Any questions for the mayor?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Day. Service Director, Mr. McAveer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. Last week, we had our pre-construction meeting for another gas line project down the south side. So anybody down that way sees all the commotion going on. They started Wednesday. One of the largest ones that, since I've been here, they're getting ready to do. Almost 17,000 feet of low pressure line, all bare metal, and 15,300 feet of medium pressure bare metal line going in with the medium density plastic pipe. That's along Commercial Southwest and Commercial Southeast. Runs from Goshen Avenue over to 4th Street, and then runs all the way on the southeast side, runs up to Colonial in there and up by the basketball courts, and on the other side it goes to about Church Avenue on the other side. They're going to be under the pressure to get reclamation done because they figure this job's going to take till into November. So you always know how, so get that in line with everybody that's out that way and in your wards and anything like that. That's going to be going on for quite a while. But that's what's happening over there, just making you guys aware of that. I'll give updates, if we get a section done, we kind of said, let's try to go over, do the southeast section, and then let's mobilize over. So they did say they'll try to work on it that way. Also last week, they did come in on Franklin Square, so we're getting there. The catch basins have been installed. The reclamation work going down 4th Drive has been remedied. They put like rain socks in there so it wouldn't wash down that hill like that's what was happening before when they changed that. The only thing we're waiting on that to finally mark that project off is they still got to come in and do some grinding on some pavement and stuff, get that hump and that thing down. So he assured me that would be done in the next month. So I'll also continue to update council on that when it's finally done. Let's hope that happens. Also, as we've been waiting on Glen Drive to start, I did get confirmation on Friday that they'll start next Monday, the 30th. So we all know what's going on out there. I've talked about it at length, but again, it'll finally get started. As we all know, we would like to have them start 30 days prior to that. So they'll be pushing it, especially when school gets back in, especially with the bus work and everything that's got to get up through there once school starts. We're gonna have a second walkthrough through the connector trail on Thursday. We had one previously, and some stuff to my satisfaction wasn't done correctly. And they still got to come in and do the grinding, get rid of some of that standing water that's going on in there. But this is just some of the curb work and a couple other things I didn't like, so I'm gonna meet with the contractor and ODOT again on Thursday to try to go over one last punch list. So I'll make sure that I update as we need it there in the next couple of weeks. Also, as we know, June 1st, we was allowed to start out with the sidewalk replacement program. We did get 13 apps. We have 9 turned back in with money turned back in, and I believe there's like 6,400 left. So just putting that out there. So if anybody else is still wanting to do it on the residential end, please urge them to do that. We still have some money there left over for that program. As we know, it's a great program. It's right around 50% of what we pay. So again, great program, great opportunity, and it's well spent taxpayers' dollars to help that. So I'm going to pass that word around. Like I say, it's about $6,400 right there, which the way the job's been coming in, at least 3 to 4 more, I would say, we could probably handle. So like I say, pass that word around so we can try to get that money through there and get it spent through this year. Because usually what we'll do then, if it's not, we've got some that are on the residential side with the business side. So we want to get it out to the residential first. So if it doesn't, we'll end up going out to some of the businesses that need it. So we try to urge everybody on the residential side to do that. And that is the end of my report. Any questions?
I don't have a question. I just wanted to say I come through Franklin, 4th and Front, and was impressed because I came through during monsoon season there.
Yeah.
And it was
There.
It was empty. It was
Yeah.
impressive. So, and then also they're doing the gas stuff down by the basketball courts already. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know because you said they were going to start on the southeast side, but they're already down that far. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they just got to keep moving down to Goshen. But like I say, I'm going to try to, and we talked about it, try to keep them on that southeast side, finish, pick up everything, and go over to that southwest side is what our hope is, just to try to, lessen the blow with everybody over there. But like I say, that was on Wednesday. They started and mobilized, and they're already, like I say, I was out there today, and they're already down that far.
Yeah.
So their work good. It's a good group. It's Mush Rush Utilities, which is right here in town, so they're great to work with. Matter of fact, we had an issue today and talked with their foreman and handled, and great people. So I don't think if anybody has an issue, let me know and I'll make sure I take care of it with them. Yes.
2 questions on Glen Drive. Is there, I never asked before, is there once they start, is there a timeline on the finish date?
Yeah,
Or is there
I believe if I remember right, they had 90 days. So you're looking at September 30th.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's the reason why we wanted them to start. You remember, if I remember
Yeah,
right, they
yeah.
got jammed up in that other job.
right.
So that's what, because I really, and not for me, but for everybody, just the fact that once buses and there's one way in and one way out,
Right.
that's gonna be a little rank. And I wasn't, but,
And then my second question, which I never asked you before, how high up the hill does phase 2 go
475 feet,
from phase 1?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, so it's be a 3-phase.
okay.
I don't know the address, Brian, or I know
That's okay.
I know the homeowner, if that helps you, Croft, I think it ends right about it,
Okay.
just past his driveway.
Okay.
You know Joe?
It
Yeah,
all-
I saw the.
Yeah,
note
right
from-
past Joe's
Yeah, I saw that
driveway.
note from him today.
Yeah, I just don't know the address,
Okay.
but if that helps you there.
Yeah, and I did get a call from somebody, we can talk later, I got a call from a resident at 1142, and there's an empty lot there next to his property, just north of his property, there's a gas well on it. And I guess there was some excavators and a bunch of stuff staged there.
Sure, I bet.
And he was asking some questions about, you know, if there was gonna be more stuff coming there or less,
Could be,
or,
whatever it takes to get the job done.
right, right. So I told him I would ask.
Yeah,
So,
they're there. Yeah, whatever it takes to get the job done. There could be other equipment there,
okay.
sure.
1153 Glen Drive.
What is it?
1153 Glen Drive?
1153, yep,
There
right
you
at
go.
Crofts, just
Jerome
north of
Crofts.
just north of his driveway is where it ends. And then we're gonna try to get up that, you know, just like I say, we've been lucky to get $600,000 worth of grants to try to get those projects done. We'll go back at it next year again and see if we can, but been pegging up the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's
there
good.
could be more equipment. I'm sure that they got a lot more than just that coming in,
Right,
yeah. 'Cause I think
Do you
all they
know
got
that
there now is
anybody-
the track hoe and their box.
right.
That's all it's there.
So do you know if anybody talked to him about, because I guess he owns that lot?
I don't
Is
think
his-
anything's sitting on his lot.
Well, and that's, I haven't been by, so I don't know, but he alluded to something sitting on, that empty lot is his.
Okay.
And he alluded to something sitting up there and he was a little.
You gotta
concerned.
remember too, in that right of way, we probably have about 20 feet up in that yard.
Well, and that
And
was
that's what
the other,
confuses some people that,
that was the other question is, I guess he was talking to some different people and it was, he had heard 10 feet from one person, he had heard 15 from another, so he was getting
you
some.
tell them 30 then.
So he was getting some conflicting, is it 20 though? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I believe,
From the road? From the-
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right, any other questions? Thank you, Mr.
You're
McNeil.
welcome.
Good for questions. I can ask a lot of questions.
All right, move on to Safety Director, Mr. Milligan.
Mr. President, council members, guests, colleagues, no real report on police and fire this evening. I will talk a little bit about another part of my role is traffic flow and signage in the city. Anyway, there's two areas that have been brought to my attention that I've been currently evaluating, will continue to evaluate. It's the intersections of Second and Fair Northeast and Second and Fair Northwest. Those intersections were brought to my attention, and I've had some dealings myself in that intersections about safety concerns. If you recall, years ago, there used to be lights there at that intersection. Those lights were removed. There's been some questions on whether we should consider that to be a four-way stop or not. So I'm doing some evaluation of those intersections. I'm working through some crash data right now. I'm working through citation data through the police department, and we'll have some other steps I'm taking to evaluate those intersections to consider them for four-way stops. The other area I'm looking at is Front Avenue and South Broadway. If you think about coming eastbound on Front Avenue, making the right-hand turn on South Broadway, traffic begins to back up through there pretty significantly during New Philly rush hours, I call it. And so I am looking at that intersection, looking at the parking spaces that are designated there, things we may be able to do there from a signage perspective to help traffic flow a little more readily through those intersections. So those are the three that I'm looking at right now. If you have any comments or concerns, if those are in your areas, please get with me and I'll entertain any questions.
I have a question. The resolution that we put on the agenda for tonight, which we can't pass, on purchasing the used vehicle for the fire department. When I spoke to the chief last week about it, he led me to believe that that had to be done in a relatively quick time frame so that we didn't lose the option to purchase that. And it was more or less on a first come, first served basis. Do we need to schedule a couple of extra meetings to get that done?
Let me talk to him. I wasn't under the impression that we needed to do that. I know we've spoken with the vendor. They know we're willing, that we want the purchase and it's ours. I think they want to make sure the process is moving forward. If I find out something different, I'll come back, but I think, maybe the next session we'd still be in a timely manner enough
All right, yeah,
to
that's
purchase
what my
that.
concern
But let me
was.
follow up with the chief
All
on
right,
that.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Previous safety director on the south side at South School, where it starts narrowing down there by Springbrook, there is a no parking beyond this sign. it's very close to the intersection of Springbrook, and so when there's soccer games and stuff, big SUVs and stuff sit there, and you can't see traffic coming. So I had talked to him, and they actually moved it back to where it starts narrowing. Well, somebody moved it back to where it was before.
Really?
They did. So if you go down there, you can see where the sign, the stump is out of the ground for the sign, but somebody moved it back to where it was.
Okay,
So
that's South Broadway.
it's
and
South
Springbrook.
Broadway and Springbrook
On the
on
west.
on the south side school.
Okay,
side.
west side of the road.
Yeah,
Okay,
Behind
Yeah.
South
I'll
School.
take a look at it.
yeah. Somebody
That's pretty good.
moved it,
Write that down.
yeah.
Any other questions?
All right, thank you, Mr. Milligan.
That's who moved it.
All right, treasurer's report, Mr. Gerber.
No report, sir.
All right, thank you, Tom. All right, law director, Mr. Fate.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I apologize for my attire. I don't mean to appear casual today. Normally the only time I've showed up in shorts is if I was coaching my kids in something and I had to rush here to get here on time. But I had to go to a legal education seminar up in Cleveland today, and I didn't want to walk around downtown after I parked in long pants, so I did dress casual for that. I thought I would be home in time to change. I was not. I came straight here. What I wanted to brief council on is, when we met last time, I told you that we had received a legal challenge to our policy on vendors' licenses in the city. If somebody wants to go door to door and they come to us to get a vendor's license in order to do that, and we charge a $30 fee. We had somebody present, Jamie Bailey, the mayor's office manager, provides that service. And she was provided with a legal memorandum that cited to a case called, a U.S. Supreme Court case called Real Silk Hosiery Mills versus City of Portland from 1925. And it said in there that if it affects interstate commerce, you can't charge a fee for it. Well, I told her I would research it, as I mentioned last time. That was one of the things I was looking into. I'd just gotten it last time, hadn't had a chance to look at it yet. In that case is relatively old. I looked at follow-up cases, including Breard versus City of Alexandria from 1951, Minnesota versus Cloverleaf, 1981, and South Dakota versus Wayfair from 2018. That all dealt with the same issue. And basically what the Supreme Court has done is they have set out a legal test for whether or not your fee meets the standard. It's not the Supreme Court has said you can never have one. They set out a legal test. The permit fees can be charged for door-to-door sales, even for companies located in another state, as long as the fee is applied in a non-discriminatory manner and is tied to a legitimate local purpose and does not unduly burden interstate commerce. In the case that they cited from 1925, the fee charged was the court ruled that the fee charge was excessively high, revenue-driven. Ours is not revenue-driven. We don't make a lot of money off a $30 permit fee. It was revenue-driven and targeted interstate order taking back in 1925. So they found that one didn't meet the legal standard. Based upon my analysis and reading the Supreme Court cases, our fee is different than the one in the 1925 case. Ours is, under their test, is a reasonable fee, does not discriminate based on whether it is in-state or out-of-state, and it has a legitimate regulatory purpose. So based on recent cases, I ruled that it was appropriate. I gave a full written legal opinion to Jamie so that she can hand that to people when they come in and want to challenge that. Our fee is we collected so that our police are alerted to it. We can make sure it's for a legitimate purpose. Obviously, you can't do an illegal door-to-door sales. You can't go door-to-door selling drugs, obviously. And so it's a very small oversight. We want our police to be alerted to it so they know there are people in the area for their safety and for the safety of others. So that's the basis of our fee. And in my legal opinion, based upon my research, $30 meets the constitutional standard and does not violate the Interstate Commerce Clause. Are there any questions about that?
It just strikes me that someone took an issue over vendor's fee all the way to the US Supreme Court.
Well, they've done it several times, actually.
right. Several.
I looked at 5 different cases where it was,
mean,
where it was an issue.
Okay, wow.
Someone wanted to take that up.
Somebody has money.
Does anybody know
Yeah.
how many vendor fees, like, we process?
I have
in
no
a year?
idea, that would be an administrative question, I don't know how
Okay.
many fees
We'll have to
that we
ask.
come across. We can't charge for, political purposes or religious purposes, that would violate the First Amendment.
Sure.
So if you're going door to door, to get signatures for a petition, we can't charge for that. If you're going to door for religious purposes, we can't charge for that either.
Do those folks still have to register with the city, or they can,
No, they don't actually.
they don't, okay.
But they can be challenged by the police. When I was going door to door to get signatures, I was stopped by the police and asked what I was doing, and they said, we got a report. And I
Oh.
told them,
It's because I called him.
that's probably it.
Thanks, Mike.
That's probably
He's at
it.
my door.
So, actually, that was in Dover when I ran for judge, that I got that. No, they don't have to, they're not
Always,
required
because
to
they have dress
register
casual.
or,
Yeah.
it's considered a First Amendment right. Just like somebody can go up on the square and shout about the Bible anytime they want, that's long-held First Amendment law.
Any questions? Thank you, Marvin. Move on to our commission reports. First up, Planning Commission, Mayor Day.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Planning Commission will be meeting again on the second Tuesday of July at 1 p.m. and we'll continue our discussion about a South Side housing development.
All right. Any questions for the Planning Commission? Board of Zoning Appeals, Mr. McAbeer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Board of Zoning Appeals will meet here in council chambers on July 8th at 5 p.m. There is no variance requests at this time, but we still have till next Friday to make that agenda.
All right, thank you. Airport Commission, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Airport Commission will be meeting July 8th, 6 p.m. at the Harry Cleaver Field Airport Meeting Room.
All right. Park Board, Mr. Sears.
Thank you, Mr. President. The park board did meet 12 p.m. On June 18th. I was not able to attend due to a work commitment. I was gonna ask, is there anything worthy? No, I can get the meeting minutes for the next council meeting, but I wasn't sure if
I don't,
there was anything.
All worthy, but nothing shattering, I say,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, just, nothing,
Okay.
yeah, I think you're fine,
Yeah,
Brian.
I'll get the
Until
meeting
next
minutes, and
month,
if there's
yeah.
anything, I'll report it
Yeah.
next time. And then the July park board meeting would be the third Wednesday, so that would be Wednesday, July 17th, or July 16th, I'm sorry. at the
All
park.
right. Thank you, Mr. Sears. Let's see, Health Board, tell them to hear council committee reports. First up, Finance, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Finance Committee met at 6:30 this evening. We had 3 items to discuss, with 2 of which we voted unanimously, which is proposed resolution 17 and proposed resolution 18 to be added to the night's agenda for first reading. The third is a contract situation, and we're gonna continue that talks at a further time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Alonso. Public Works and Economic Development, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report this evening.
All right. Zoning and Annexation, Ms. Ramos.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee met tonight at 7 o'clock, and we voted to put Resolution 1/2025 on the agenda for first reading tonight, and that is the annexation of the McClave property.
All right, thank you. Salary, Mr. Granville.
Thank you. No report this evening.
All right. Cemetery Board, Mr. Sears.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report this evening.
All right. Contact and Special, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report this evening.
All right. All right, the floor is now open for visitors' comments. Anyone wishing to address council should rise, state your name and address, and address all comments to the chair. Anyone with comments tonight? Hearing none, council comments. Yes, Mrs. Ramos.
I would like to invite everybody, I know all council got this invitation, but also, just by way of reminder, to invite everybody to the Freedom Fest celebration, that is celebration from addiction, depression, etc. It's going to be held at the Revive Church, which is on Union Avenue, where the curve is, on their grounds. And it's from 12 to 6, and they're gonna have all kinds of family-friendly activities. And speakers are going to be Jody Salvo, who is our representative, and Eric Frederickson, who is an author and well-known in the recovery community. And at 7 o'clock, there is going to be the start of a concert. And the opening act is Camp Bam, and the second guy, I'm sorry, I forgot his name, Taylor or something. And so there's gonna be a concert at 7 o'clock. It's on their grounds. Everybody's invited.
All right, thank you. Also, the mayor's invited us to, we ought to set up to do a tour of the city facilities. I know Joe had mentioned to me the other day, and I said I would mention it tonight. I mean, there's a lot of new council members, and we haven't really been around a lot of the facilities that we have, and so, I don't know, everybody can, maybe sometime in July, after we get past the 4th, we can set up a time and a day to do that tour. Comments? Yes?
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
I would like to do that.
I've done a few of them, but I'd like to do the rest of them, yeah.
How many, what do you think, Mayor, how many stops do we need to make?
Well, you do and I'm going down on the east side, the airport, cemetery, wastewater on the east side. Then you do the water plant, and then the city garage. Am I missing anything?
The court?
Yeah, if you wanna go through the court.
You would go, when you go to the water plant, go over to see where maintenance works out of. And then go to, like you say, general services, where street, sanitation, mechanics, recycles housed.
Fire department.
Yeah, fire
And then
department,
fire
police
and the police
department.
department,
Yeah,
health
for sure.
department.
Health department.
Sound like an all day.
Sounds like,
Well,
sounds
you
like a
could,
couple
you
days.
could break it up into 2 days, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. All right, I'll be back in touch, so we get past
Okay.
the 4th. I'll try to send out word we get everybody's schedules to see what works.
And we're gonna need to schedule another finance before the next scheduled meeting
Oh, yeah,
as well.
yeah, as soon as Mr. Rippeth gets back,
Yeah.
we'll get that scheduled.
Do you know, Cheryl, when's he due back?
I'm on vacation.
Oh,
I believe he's back. I think he was going for a week. when he left.
I think
he
he'll
left
be back
Friday.
in the office next week.
Go on vacation.
Okay.
Huh? Didn't he just go on vacation? Man.
All right, move on to our legislative agenda.
Ordinance number 9, 2025, an ordinance by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Ohio, to amend codified ordinance sections 555.3B2, 555.4A regarding false alarms and declaring an emergency, third reading.
Is there any action for taking this ordinance tonight? Yes,
I'll
Mr.
make a motion that we pass that ordinance.
9, 2025, need to have a second.
I'll second.
All right, thank you, Mr. Granville. Any discussion by visitors, administration?
I'd just like to comment, I think the work that was done on that, I appreciate working with Marvin and the committee to look at that ordinance. We've had success already in making an impact down there with our one particular situation, and I do think this will prevent future issues similar to that, so I appreciate the committee's work on that.
Thanks. All right, any comments or community administration, council, roll call?
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell?
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Sears?
Yes.
All right, ordinance 9, 2025 is passed.
Resolution number 1, 2025, a resolution by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Ohio, authorizing the annexation of real property located in Goshen Township, parcel number 25-000174-000, owned by Elmer and Eva McClave, and declaring an emergency. First reading.
So any action we take on this resolution tonight? All right, hearing none, we held for our next regularly scheduled council meeting.
Resolution number 15, 2025, a resolution by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Tuscarawas County, Ohio, authorizing the mayor to sign on the behalf of the city the programmatic agreement with the Ohio State Historic Preservation Office for the administration of programs using HUD allocated funds with delegated review responsibilities as authorized under 24 CFR Part 5A, and declaring an emergency. Third reading.
Is there any action we take on this resolution tonight? Mr. Alonso?
Yes, Mr. President, I ask that we pass Resolution 15, 2025.
Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Cranville. All right, in discussion by community, administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Our resolution 15, 2025 is passed.
Resolution number 16, 2025, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a partnership agreement with the city of Uriksville for the administration of the Project Year 2025 Community Housing Impact and Preservation Grant, CHIP Grant Program, if funded, and declaring an emergency. Third reading.
Is there any action we take on this resolution tonight? Mrs. Ramos?
I move that we pass Resolution 16, 2025.
Do I have a second? All right, thank you, Mr. Sears. In discussion from the community, administration, council, roll call.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
All right, resolution 16, 2025 is passed.
Resolution number 17, 2025, a resolution by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Tuscarawas County, Ohio, authorizing and directing the safety director to enter into an agreement with Fenton Fire Equipment to sell the 1997 Ford Horton E350 523 ambulance and the 1998 Ford Horton E350 523 ambulance and the 2009 Chevrolet Braun 4500 ambulance Chief XL3 at an appraised fair market value to the highest competitive bid to be deposited into the Capital Improvement Fund 420 for the fire department and declaring an emergency. First reading.
Is there any action taken by council's resolution? All right, hearing none, it'll be held for next regularly scheduled council meeting.
Resolution number 18, 2025, a resolution by the city of New Philadelphia, Tuscarawas County, Ohio, authorizing and directing the safety director to purchase a 2000 Ford F-550 4x4 Rescue R2434 through Fenton Fire Equipment Sales from Patetown Volunteer Fire Department Incorporated in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Price not to exceed $45,000 from Capital Improvement Fund 420. First reading.
Is there any action taken by council on this resolution tonight? All right, hearing none, it will be held for regularly scheduled council meeting.
That concludes legislation for this evening, Mr.
All right,
President.
thank you, Ms. Courtright. All right, any unfinished old business for tonight? Any new business for tonight? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. President.
All right, 8:09, we are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Mike?
Hey, Chris.
Sign was moved.